Skipping the class, he headed to a place where he wouldn't have to deal with his teacher's mugs. And the moment he swung open the door, a crazy broad thing of her almost snapped his neck. And what's she even doing sitting on that damn door? He requested a referral link for those inside to gift his stepsister, but she left from there cause she don't like half-cone guys. So with his life as empty as hell, he takes a McBeast challenge to film 100 different strawberries in the next 30 days, starting with a chick he recently crossed the path with. Just kidding. He found a book lying below and got his first clue to find that girl. He told his friends how he met with an angel that fell out of sky wearing strawberry pants. She was drop-dead gorgeous, surpassing anything he had ever seen in the movies. His friends asked him if he had found out the name of the girl whose notebook it was, but he tells them that even if he knows, he won't tell them. Junpei leaves everything and goes straight to the girl whose name was written on the notebook. Her name is Tuju and she is from the same class as his. Junpei thinks that this nerd is so plain and can't be that same girl. She requests him to give her notebook back as she was looking for it from a long time. But dumb hero forgot to bring the notebook to school and the nerd warned him to bring that tomorrow and don't read it inside at any cost. Junpei is in deep thoughts that if it's not Tuju then whose ghost I have seen yesterday. Ugly Kamiyama told him that there are usually not so many cute girls one school can have, and she knows the prettiest girl in the school and you should see her if she was the girl. He always daydream of Nishino that makes Junpei say him pervert, but Kamiyama told him that the real pervert is him who can't help but think about strawberry panties all the time. Just then, the popular girl Nishino came here and suggested them to go somewhere else for their crap talks. She made Kamiyama hug the ground when she said she don't like guys with scary faces. Kamiyama just couldn't bear the pain of what just happened and forced Junpei to propose Nishino in the most pathetic, embarrassing way possible so he can feel the same pain as he did. Junpei refused in the beginning but couldn't resist the challenge when he was offered a big lollipop. Tuju warned him not to read her book, so he read it. After reading that book, he brought Tuju to the rooftop for some one-on-one talk. He told him that he actually read her notebook and spent all his day engrossed in the novels she wrote. He was really moved with the incredible amount of potential she possessed. He also wants to know if there is more to go and what happens next in the story. But Tuju thinks that it's a cliché story and the wording is clunky, so she don't want to show anyone. Junpei revealed his dream to become a filmmaker and he would like her to write stories for him and they both can make a great couple. I mean great movie. He wants to shoot strawberry pants but couldn't find any models, so he asked some tips to confess to a girl like Nishino. She told him that Nishino likes the dumbest things and confessing her while doing push-ups on a pull-up bar can do the trick. Junpei couldn't thank Tuju for suggesting such a dumb idea to someone stupid like him. He wasted no time and straight away went to the pull-up bar on the playground where Nishino was looking for the dumbest things around. He confessed Nishino saying that he is the dirtiest trash here and asked her to take him out. He melted her steel heart with his blazing pull-ups. Take a note, guys, this shit works. She accepts his weird proposal and suggests to come over her place right now. They walk home together and Junpei can't help thinking the craziest things that can happen. But Nishino don't want to rush it, so she advised to go to a park and know each other a little better. When she asked about Junpei's interests and what he likes, he goes on to say that he likes to pee in doggy style. Nishino also wants to do more of this shit with Junpei, but they are not in the same class, so she told him to enroll in a sing high school and make lots of memories together. Nishino have already choose a school nearby her home so that she could live the student dream of sleeping in until the first period bell ring. Surprisingly, Nishino agreed to attend that school as well, but with one playful condition. Junpei had to come up with something even funnier than his pull-up confession to seal the deal. News of the seemingly ordinary guy dating the most popular girl quickly spread throughout the school as flashy confessions tend to attract attention. Kamiyama, inspired by Junpei's success, attempted his own confession, but didn't experience the same favorable outcome. Meanwhile, Junpei found himself determined to improve his grades, scratching his head in search of academic progress. Tuju became his tutor-cum-supporter, providing guidance and encouragement to help him achieve his goals. In a surprising turn of events, Junpei proposed that Tuju also enroll in the same school, envisioning a future where they could read more of her captivating stories and collaborate on making movies together. Tuju deeply appreciated his companionship and felt motivated by his unwavering support in pursuing her dream of becoming an author. She eagerly anticipated witnessing the movies Junpei would create and the artistic synergy they could achieve as a team. Unexpectedly, a Hollywood earthquake struck, causing Tuju to stumble and giving Junpei yet another accidental glimpse of her strawberry panties. Despite these coincidental encounters, Junpei remained convinced that his nerdy classmate couldn't possibly be the same beautiful girl he had seen before. Nevertheless, he couldn't ignore his consistent luck when it came to encountering strawberry pants. Caught in a dilemma, Junpei found himself torn between Tuju, who was helping him study for his entrance exams and with whom he enjoyed spending time, and Nishino, his supposed girlfriend. Tuju's tutoring sessions were proving beneficial, aiding his academic progress, but he couldn't forget his commitment to Nishino. Meanwhile, Kamiyama, who harbored feelings for Nishino, grew increasingly unhappy at the sight of him with Junpei, and even Tuju appeared displeased by the situation. Nishino, curious about Junpei's studies and his plans to enroll in Izumazaka High School, expressed interest in meeting Tuju after learning she was helping him. However, Nishino couldn't resist suggesting that Tuju remove her glasses, implying she didn't appreciate Tuju's appearance. In an unexpected turn of events, their PE teacher made an entrance, wearing a skin-fit t-shirt despite the winter weather. With a dubious gaze, he seemed unsure of his purpose. As it turned out, he had only come to the scene to indulge in donuts, not to show off in front of the cashier, of course. They saw an opportunity to escape, but his attempt to find a back door led him to a broom closet instead. Faced with the dilemma of the looming PE teacher, Junpei found himself caught between the two soft and sweet-smelling girls. Despite the unusual circumstances, he couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement in the midst of this unique situation. The following day, Junpei and Nishino arrived to take the entrance exam, only to discover they were assigned to different rooms. Kamiyama, hoping Junpei could help him pass the exam, was also present. Initially thinking they were the only students from their class taking the exam, they were surprised to find another classmate sitting behind Junpei. Handsome Kamiyama couldn't help but wonder if it could be Tuju, hoping she had developed feelings for him following their previous encounter. Junpei, on the other hand, couldn't comprehend why Tuju would choose this particular school when she could easily gain admission to higher-ranked institutions. As the exam commenced, a stunning girl entered the room, introducing herself as Tujo Aya. Junpei's confusion heightened as she bore an uncanny resemblance to the girl with the strawberry panties he had encountered before. It turned out that the girl who had captivated him from the first moment was indeed Tujo, sitting right behind him during the exam. Throughout the test, he found himself torn between contemplating all the wonderful aspects of Tuju's personality and appearance, unable to decide which version of Tuju he preferred. After completing the exam, Junpei searched for Tuju but discovered she had already left. However, she reappeared at the beginning of the next test, granting Junpei a clear view of her face for the first time. Junpei was unsure of getting enough grades to pass, but Tuju reassured him that he must pass the entrance exam because she also wants to pursue their shared dream of making movies together. Junpei was astounded to learn that Tuju had chosen this school specifically because of their connection. Unbeknownst to him, Nishino overheard their conversation, witnessing the unfolding drama. In that touching moment, Junpei realized that neither Tuju's glasses nor her strawberry panties held significance anymore. His heart and mind became consumed with thoughts of Tuju Aya as he recognized the depth of his feelings for her. On the day the results were announced, Junpei and Kamiyama couldn't locate their names on the list. However, Tuju informed them that their names were actually on the waiting list. They had officially graduated from their previous school, and Junpei received his acceptance letter to the new school, while Kamiyama had yet to receive his. As Junpei started daydreaming about being together with Tuju, he found himself embarrassed by his own thoughts in front of everyone. Bakusa, known for his popularity among the girls, was asked by his female classmates for the second button from his coat as a symbol of their time spent together in high school. Junpei found it amusing that such traditions still existed. Tuju's popularity increased within the school, partly due to her new look without glasses and a change in her hairstyle. Everyone wanted to take photos with her. Meanwhile, Nishino playfully took Junpei's second button, even though he believed it wasn't necessary since they would be attending the same school. However, Nishino revealed that she wouldn't be attending Izumazaka School because she didn't want to be a third wheel between Junpei and Tuju. She realized in the first glance that how much Junpei wants to be with her. Instead, she had secretly taken the entrance exam for Ami Academy, which was closer to her home, and was content with her new friends there. Junpei received her decision with mixed feelings, realizing how much he truly wanted to be with her. In the end, he took Nishino's seat at Izumizaka School, beginning a new chapter with a bittersweet understanding of his desires. As Junpei and Tuju was enjoying their quality time, Kamiyama unexpectedly appeared, embracing Junpei and revealing that he had also been accepted into the same school and would continue to annoy them for the next 3 years. One morning as Junpei lay in bed, he felt someone playing with his toy. To his surprise, it was his childhood friend Yu. She had moved away to a different town for 5 years, but had returned during spring break to explore potential high schools. After conducting her research, she decided that she wanted to enroll in Ami Academy, the same school Nishino had chosen. Curious about her prospects, Yu asked Junpei if he knew any female classmates who had been accepted into Ami Academy. However, Junpei hesitated, not wanting Yu to meet Nishino for some reasons. Later, while Junpei was taking a bath, Yu insisted on rewarding his kindness by rubbing his back as a thank you for accompanying her to Ami Academy. Due to a shower malfunction, Yu ended up getting wet, and in a surprising turn of events, decided to join Junpei in the bath as she was already wet. Feeling uncomfortable with the situation, Junpei hastily left the bath. Yu informed him that she would be leaving early the next morning, and Junpei found himself pondering if she made it back safely. However, due to oversleeping, Yu missed her train, leading her to once again play with Junpei's toy in their shared time together. Finally, Junpei's parents give him a camera, allowing him to capture whatever he desires. He decides to practice taking photos in a garden where he spots a stunning girl. Her beauty leaves him so amazed that his mouth stays wide open. However, as soon as she notices him recording her, she becomes alarmed and starts screaming. In the midst of the chaos, she accidentally falls on top of him while trying to take his camera. Junpei is so caught up in enjoying the situation that he fails to realize the girl tosses his camera into the water, warning him never to show his face again. Junpei and Tuju are in the AIM class, with Kamiyama being his bothersome friend in a different class. Tuju has become a popular topic in school, and the boys are eager to catch a glimpse of her. Coincidentally, Junpei discovers that the camera girl is also in his class, leading him to feel excited and ask her about his camera's reimbursement. The girl informs him that she received punishment for her actions and refuses to give any compensation for the camera. Witnessing their argument, the teacher penalizes them by assigning them to clean the hallway after school. Kamiyama privately thinks, "I wish I were also given such a punishment by a beautiful teacher." Taking advantage of Junpei's punishment, he convinces Tuju to accompany him. The girl becomes furious and accidentally splashes water on Junpei, causing her to slip and fall on him once again. They both end up on the floor, with twisting her ankle and Junpei spraining his finger. Seeing her in distress, Junpei lifts her onto his back, and during their introductions, he learns that her name is Satsuki. Everyone in the school was excited to see Tuju, but she had to revert back to her old avatar because her hair wasn't styled properly. Some boys mistakenly thought she was a new student and started teasing her. Fortunately, Satsuki comes to her aid. Witnessing Satsuki in trouble, Junpei instinctively intervenes in a way he didn't fully understand. Satsuki is surprised to see Junpei standing up for her. Due to the injury he sustains during the incident, Junpei struggles with writing, prompting Satsuki to take his notebook and assist him. Tuju also witnesses this togetherness of them. Junpei learns that the film club he joined at this school has been discontinued, and he needs to recruit 5 members to revive it. Apart from Tuju and Junpei, they still needed 3 more members. Okusa had already joined the football club, but seeing Kamiyama free, he tries to convince him to join. Just then, a classmate expresses interest in joining the club, and Kamiyama recognizes his exceptional photography skills and decides to join as well. They devise a plan to create a movie together that can be showcased at the cultural festival, which would help secure funding from the school. However, they were still in need of 1 more member. That's when Satsuki arrives and willingly becomes their 5th member. However, Tuju appears unhappy upon seeing everyone together, and Junpei discovers that she has already joined the literature club. It's possible that she was hurt by witnessing Junpei and Satsuki's closeness. Concerned by Junpei's distress, Satsuki attempts to ask him about it, but he doesn't want to share his feelings and asks to be left alone. However, Satsuki doesn't give up, as she started developing feelings for him. When she musters the courage to confess, she blushes and quickly runs away. Satsuki doesn't necessarily need an answer from Junpei. She simply wants to spend time with him every day. They end up getting punished by the teacher for arriving late to class, which adds to Junpei's worries as making a movie with Tuju will now be challenging. Amidst his confusion regarding the two girls, Nishino accidentally bumps into him on the way home. Nishino is taking lessons at a cooking school, and witnessing the joy on people's faces after tasting her food motivates her to improve further. Junpei takes inspiration from her and focuses on pursuing his own dream. He attempts to persuade Tuju to fulfill their shared dream of creating movies together. Junpei had enrolled at Izumazaka School because of Tuju, and she eventually agrees to join his film club after leaving the literature club. In order to learn about filming techniques, they plan to do a movie research, and Junpei invites Tuju to his house, where they see each other for the first time in casual clothes. While they are in the middle of watching a movie, Satsuki calls Junpei. Upon learning that Tuju is at his house, Satsuki decides to bring the entire film club over for club activities. Nishino also brings a gift for Junpei, but since she doesn't know his address, Okusa takes her to his house. In an amusing turn of events, Sensei accidentally grabs Satsuki's melons, leading her to express a desire to compare Tuju's melons as well, creating a comedic situation that catches Junpei off guard. His friends are envious, wondering why they don't have such fortunate encounters. Nishino had personally made cookies as a gift for Junpei, but just then, Yu also arrives to meet him. This situation leads Satsuki and Tuju to suspect that Junpei is involved with Yu, causing confusion for Nishino as well. Junpei finds himself pondering how to handle this complicated situation. The following day, the entire film club, accompanied by their teacher, goes to the beach for a movie shoot. Satsuki brings multiple swimsuits to impress Junpei, while Tuju forgets to bring any. Satsuki kindly lends Tuju one from her collection. The group of boys finds amusement in the situation. The specifics of the movie shoot are unknown, but I feel that we all deserve such an enjoyable activity too. After seeing Satsuki in that dress, Kamiyama changes his crush once again, but Tuju and Satsuki remain interested in Junpei. Together, they devise a plan to make the girls dislike Junpei. They execute this plan by forcefully pushing him in the girls' bathroom while they are showering. Junpei becomes restless and troubled by the events that occurred in the bathroom. Similarly, Satsuki is unable to sleep, haunted by the incident. She expresses her desire to create a special film with Junpei. During an embrace with Junpei, Satsuki unexpectedly faints. Concerned for her well-being, Junpei takes her to their room and takes care of her. Eventually, he falls asleep there as well. The following morning, a doctor examines Satsuki and reveals that she has a fever likely caused by excessive sun exposure. Kamiyama realizes that his plan has backfired upon seeing Junpei asleep next to Satsuki, indicating a growing closeness between them. The next day, Nishino had a day off from school, and her friend Tomoko invited her to go shopping. Nishino, who used to reject boys without much thought, had a reputation that made boys hesitant to approach her. Tomoko's brother, who was interested in Nishino, took the opportunity to meet her by inviting her to the market. However, as soon as her brother arrived, Tomoko abandoned Nishino and left her alone without paying the bill, causing Nishino to feel betrayed. Lost in her thoughts, Nishino didn't pay much attention to the boy's attempts to converse with her. But when she noticed his cheap actions and his claim that kissing was as casual as shaking hands these days, she couldn't tolerate his disrespect. In a fit of anger, she slapped him across the face with her heel. She firmly believed that their values didn't align, and she walked away from him with indignation. Back at home, Nishino locked herself in her room, feeling a mix of frustration and disappointment. As she looked at a marked date on the calendar, her phone rang. Without even hearing his voice, she recognized that it was Junpei calling her. He had asked Junpei to let her know if he had any female friends at Umi Academy, so he wanted to ask Nishino if he could mention her name. Nishino urgently asks Junpei to meet her right away, even though it's already 10 o'clock at night and he had just arrived home. Junpei hurriedly heads towards Nishino's house, and coincidentally, they run into each other on the way. In reality, Nishino wanted to treat him to a strawberry cake she made herself because it's her birthday that day. Junpei is overcome with excitement and guilt for forgetting her birthday, and he promises to give Nishino the gift she desires. However, she doesn't want an expensive gift. All she wants is a lovely handshake with Junpei. At school, Tuju receives a love letter. but she hesitates to open it because she is already in love with someone else. When her friend asked about it, she confesses that although they are not officially dating, she shares a deep connection with someone. However, Tuju has a girlfriend and she realizes that she may have to let go of that boy. Tuju tries to brush it off as a plot from her novel, but her friend can see that Tuju's feelings are genuine. Quietly listening to their conversation, Junpei starts to wonder if Tuju truly loves him. However, there are already others in line for Junpei's affection, including Satsuki and Nishino, making his love story no less than that of a novel. While pondering all night, Junpei couldn't sleep and struggled to determine who would be the best choice for him. As he enters the classroom, Satsuki accidentally falls on top of him and loudly declares to everyone that she and Junpei are in a relationship. Junpei and the other students are taken aback by this sudden announcement. However, Junpei quickly clarifies that nothing happened between them and it's all a misunderstanding. Overwhelmed, Junpei flees the classroom and outside he encounters Tuju, but she walks away silently with tears in her eyes. Seeking guidance, Junpei turns to his friend Okusa for advice on which girl to choose among Satsuki, Nishino, and Tuju. However, even Okusa can't provide a solution. Determined to be honest, Junpei decides to confront Satsuki and reveal his feelings for all three girls, even if it means risking her hatred. He confesses to Satsuki that he likes her but also has feelings for the other two girls. Initially, Satsuki is upset and cries, but she realizes that she still has a chance to win Junpei's heart and decides to continue pursuing him. Meanwhile, Tuju receives yet another love letter, but this time it's from Junpei himself. Junpei expresses his gratitude to Tuju for inspiring him to create his first movie and invites her to watch it with him. Tuju holds the letter close to her heart, abandoning the idea of giving up on Junpei and determined to fight for his affections. It's Christmas, but Junpei doesn't have money to buy gifts for the girls, so he decides to get a part-time job. His boss introduces him to someone who will train him, but it turns out to be Satsuki, which surprises Junpei. To hide their connection from the boss, Junpei and Satsuki act like they don't know each other. Satsuki trains Junpei seriously, but he wants to do something nice for her in return. Just when Junpei is about to give her something, his sister Yu catches them. Yu comes up with a plan to keep an eye on them by pretending they're getting food. But Satsuki plays a joke on Yu by giving her a spicy burger that makes her cough. This leads to a playful fight between Satsuki and Yu, and Junpei has to step in to calm them down. Yu eventually apologized when she learned that Satsuki was simply helping Junpei with his training and not anything else. Amidst the laughter, Yu couldn't help but comment on Satsuki's figure, playfully teasing her about her melons, saying she didn't particularly like having big melons because as they might become problematic as she gets older. Satsuki's face turned red. Realizing her misstep, Yu ran away from there and Satsuki playfully chased her away. She don't want Junpei to see Satsuki in that manner, so she did something that made him run out of the shop and the girls enjoyed that scene together. Junpei was not having a good day being scolded by the manager, and his co-worker wonders why he joined the store in the busy Christmas days. Or maybe he is trying to earn money to buy Christmas gifts for someone special, but little did she know that it was not just one girl he had in mind, but three. To brighten Junpei's day, Nishino, who lived nearby, paid him a visit. She warmly invited him to her house where she had prepared a special roll cake just for him. Junpei felt happy and grateful to see Nishino as he thanked God that Satsuki wasn't around at that moment. His co-worker sent Satsuki home 5 minutes earlier, giving Junpei and Nishino some much-needed alone time. As Junpei savored the delicious cake, he couldn't help but feel lucky to be in Nishino's room with no one at home. Then Nishino showed him a beautiful view and Junpei's feelings of luckiness only grew stronger. In front of Junpei, Nishino was sitting in a mini skirt, and the background music she played only intensified his feelings. He found himself getting nervous, hoping she would offer him other cake too, while Nishino remained composed and calm. Nishino shared that her parents wouldn't be home until late that night, making Junpei's nervousness reach its peak. He decided it's time to head home, but just as he was leaving, Nishino stalked him from behind. Junpei, feeling overwhelmed by the atmosphere, asked her to keep her distance, afraid of where things might lead. In response, Nishino playfully granted him permission to do whatever he wanted, curious about his reaction. However, as Junpei started to get carried away, he couldn't help but imagine Tuju's image on Nishino's face. He stopped himself and Nishino, then told him that she wouldn't wait forever, as she didn't like the feeling of endless waiting. Due to having different schools, she sensed that he had changed, and she didn't want to keep waiting for him indefinitely. So she bid him goodbye. Junpei felt hurt and disappointed by Nishino's actions, regretting that he couldn't even apologize to her before leaving. Next day after finishing his work, Junpei started heading home when he came across a cake that looked exactly like the one Nishino had made for him. The sales girl informed him that it is a limited-time Christmas item. Suddenly, it hit Junpei that Nishino had invited him to celebrate Christmas, with her not just to try the cake, but to spend time together. Junpei could not hold his tears upon realizing that how much he used to like Nishino in the middle school. On the new year, Yu and Junpei both made their heartfelt wishes. Yu prayed to get into Anime Academy, and Junpei wished for a love that he could truly look forward to. Shortly after, they bumped into Tuju, who inquired about Yu's high school preferences. Despite her doubts about making it, Yu expressed her desire to enroll in Anime Academy. Hearing this, Tuju generously offered her study notes and materials for the entrance test she made earlier. Although Anime Academy was Tuju's first choice too, she ended up joining Izumazaka High School, driven by a boy we all know. Delighted by the offer, Yu asked Tuju to tutor her during winter vacation, to which Tuju enthusiastically agreed, jokingly referring to herself as a nerd with nothing else to do but homework. Junpei also welcomed the idea of Tuju coming over to his house, bringing back memories of when she used to tutor him. As the study session continued, Yu inquired why Tuju didn't join Omi Academy. Tuju hesitated, but eventually revealed that it was because of an unrequited love she had for a boy who had been in a relationship since middle school. Yu, however, believes that love doesn't always last forever, and maybe the boy had already broken up with his girlfriend. Tuju's response was a mixture of shock and surprise, accidentally dropping a glass in her hand as she stood up when she heard from Yu that Junpei also might have broken up with his girlfriend. As Yu decided to take a break and wait for the spilled water to dry up, she headed to the market to buy some snacks. Meanwhile, Junpei entered Tuju's room and found her sleeping on the study table. He accidentally picked up her old middle school notebook, which she still used for writing her novels. Tuju woke up and noticed Junpei holding her notebook, offering him a chance to read it. They both enjoyed the novel together, but an awkward moment ensued when their hands accidentally touched. Before Tuju could ask Junpei about his relationship status, Yu opened the door and spotted them, leading her to quickly apologize and run away. As winter holidays came to an end, Yu had to return home for school. Thanks to Tuju's tutoring, she felt confident about clearing the entrance test. Tuju decided to spend the day hanging out with Yu. Stupid Junpei had taken extra shifts on Christmas Eve, and now he was wandering the streets on a regular day. Yui and Tuju also wonders why he is roaming on the streets, and just then Satsuki, Kamiyama, and Okusa also joins them out of nowhere. Yu was afraid of Satsuki's teasing, and Kamiyama suggested they all do something together since they were all there. Satsuki and Junpei were on board with the idea, and Yu asked if she could join them as well. Ultimately, they let Yu decide what they should do, considering it was her last day in the city. Yu's idea of playing hide and seek was met with surprise by Satsuki, who was concerned about the freezing weather. Kamiyama received a playful slap when he suggested hiding close together for warmth. Junpei, who hadn't played hide and seek since elementary school, found himself hiding with Yu at the same spot, behind the toilet. The small space made him nervous, and he asked Yu if they would be okay like this. Yu wonders why Junpei is nervous because back then they were able to hide here comfortably. She playfully knocked him on the chin and quickly ran off to hide somewhere else, not wanting to be caught together. As time passed, everyone was found except for Yu. She had a secret hiding place that even Junpei didn't know about. An hour went by, and with the snowfall increasing, they became worried as Yu had never stayed hidden for so long. They knew she must still be in the park because she never gone home without being found first. Junpei, concerned that Yu might be too cold to move, started running all over the park to find her. Finally, he heard her sneezing and discovered her hiding spot. He hugged her tightly, relieved that he had found her, as he was worried about her. Next morning, they all gathered at the subway station to see Yu off. She couldn't hold back her tears, worried that she would feel lonely when she reaches home. The film club members reassured her that they would pick her up again when she returned for the entrance test, and they promised to have more fun together. The camera nerd couldn't resist taking a picture of Yu, capturing the emotional moment as she said her goodbyes to everyone. Satsuki dragged Junpei along on a shopping trip, and to their surprise, Tuju showed up with a gift hidden behind her back. Seeing Satsuki with Junpei, Tuju asked what they were doing there, and Satsuki took advantage of the situation, claiming they were on a date and even thanking Junpei for the present in front of her. Satsuki then left, leaving Tuju confused, but Junpei assured her that it wasn't a date and ran after Satsuki. He confronted Satsuki about why she lied, and she confessed that she saw it as an opportunity to ruin his relationship with Tuju. She hugged him tightly, but her anger flared up when Junpei didn't hug her back. Satsuki was frustrated because she felt like she never received the attention she wanted from Junpei despite being so upfront about her feelings. She ran away in tears, feeling hurt and neglected, and Junpei realized this was similar to what happened with Nishino, because Junpei is such a loser that couldn't decide which girl he likes and is getting what he deserves. After that incident, several days passed with Junpei and Satsuki not talking, and their relationship remained strained. It seemed like they were unable to fix the rift between them. That Valentine's Day arrived, and Kamiyama was feeling down because he hadn't received any gifts, while Okusa was delighted with a table full of presents. Junpei, on the other hand, couldn't find any gifts for himself even after checking his shoe rack. He mused about how Valentine's Day was just another ordinary day for guys like him who weren't popular. After school, Satsuki was eager to give Junpei a Valentine's Day present but couldn't muster the courage to do so. Tuju surprised Junpei with a gift, making it the first time he received a Valentine's present. Tuju explained that she learned about Nishino from Yu-chan and felt it was okay to express her gratitude to Junpei by giving him a present. Getting to know Junpei had opened up her world, allowing her to befriend people she would have never talked to before, like Kamiyama and Okusa. Junpei felt the same way about Tuju's positive impact on his life. However, Satsuki felt disheartened when she witnessed the exchange and ran away, throwing her gift box in the dustbin. Junpei later found a gift box outside his main door. Assuming it might be from Satsuki, he prepared to enjoy the chocolates, but Yu paid him a surprise visit, which came back to give entrance test. Yu couldn't resist eating the chocolates, which annoyed Junpei, leading him to consume the rest in one go. Yu started shouting tissue, tissue. When Junpei's nose started bleeding, how pathetic. Not even kindergartners get nosebleed from eating chocolate. Satsuki was troubled, not knowing how to approach Junpei after their recent misunderstandings. However, to her surprise, Junpei thanked her for the Valentine's gift that in real Nishino had left for him. Satsuki was amazed that how had he found and picked up the gift from the dustbin, and even ate the chocolates, considering them as delicious as store-bought ones. Anyway, the sincere gesture patched up their relationship, and they started to reconnect as before. Meanwhile, Yu, after finishing her entrance exam, got lost on her way back home. Yu was overjoyed when she unexpectedly ran into Nishino, who kindly helped her find her way back home. During their conversation, Nishino asked about Junpei, and Yu mentioned how he was delighted after eating the handmade chocolates yesterday. Nishino muttered her thanks to Junpei for accepting her gift, which puzzled Yui, as she wondered why Nishino was thanking Junpei as if she had made those chocolates. Later, Tuju invited Junpei to read her novel after school, and after they finished, Junpei asked her to stay a little longer and talk. Feeling grateful for the Valentine's Day gift Tuju had given him, Junpei got a bit closer to her, sensing that there might be more to her gesture than just expressing gratitude. Junpei had feelings for Satsuki, but he was also open to the possibility of being with Tuju if she confessed to him. Filled with emotions, he couldn't help himself and hugged Tuju, as he had wanted to embrace her since their first meeting on the rooftop. As they walked back home together, it both felt awkward, and neither of them confessed their feelings to each other. However, Junpei was content knowing that he was genuinely happy, and he felt like he could die happily, and infamous Truck-kun almost got his wish come true. Yu has finally got admission in Omi Academy, but due to dorm closures, he will have to stay in Junpei's room for the next 3 years and continue playing with his toy first thing in the morning. Trying to change the subject, she asks Junpei if he has bought return gifts for White Day tomorrow. With stores closing soon, they rush to decide on gifts, but Yu ends up wanting a big teddy bear as a reward for passing her exam. Junpei scolds her, telling her not to choose gifts for herself, and Yu will decide what to buy for the girls on his own. On their way home, they run into Nishino. Junpei has grown taller since they met 3 months ago, but I think his brain cells haven't quite caught up. Nishino minds her own business and continues on her way. Junpei, upon learning that the handmade chocolates left at the door were from Nishino, he chased after Nishino and thanks her for them. Nishino had expected this thanks a little earlier, but she's content with the gratitude and doesn't expect any return gifts for the chocolates she gave him out of sheer gratitude. Because after meeting him, she leveled up quite a bit as she got admission in the best academy and learned cooking skills too. When it comes to relationships, Nishino believes that long distance wouldn't work for her. To her, Junpei's existence is already a part of the past and she has moved on. She ran away from the encounter and doesn't seem likely to come back to Junpei. On White Day, Junpei surprises Tuju with a return gift, even though she wasn't expecting one, and also it's her first time receiving such a gift. He also gives a gift to Satsuki and asks her where she left the chocolates that day. Satsuki playfully tells him she left them near the garbage can by the vending machine near his house. But she's impressed that he found them, jokingly suggesting that he might have some psychic powers. Junpei jokes back, saying the garbage can was like calling out to him. Junpei asks Yu to wake him up earlier because he's planning to go to the movies with Kamiyama. However, he oversleeps again and rushes to the cinema, where he's supposed to meet Tuju, not Kamiyama. Unexpectedly, their teacher asks for their help to stand in line for the sale of discounted toilet paper. After a long hour, they finally get to leave for the movie. Together, they laugh, cry, and get excited at the same parts, enjoying each other's company. They both really enjoyed the movie, but the girl sitting next to Junpei expressed her dissatisfaction, calling it mediocre. Junpei chose not to waste time arguing and simply acknowledged that while she pointed out things he had doubts about, he still enjoyed the movie. Despite the critique, he had a good time. After the movie of all places, Junpei takes Tuju to a McDonald's. He originally thought they could do some karaoke afterward, but when he mentioned it, Tuju seemed nervous about singing in front of people. Trying to find another topic, Junpei brought up a comedian championship show that aired yesterday. However, Tuju had spent the whole day reading a book, while Junpei confessed he hadn't read any books in ages. He felt a bit like a loser for not having much to talk about. Thankfully, Tuju broke the silence and started asking Junpei about the movie they just watched. He agreed that the movie had room for improvement, but Tuju believed it was a good one because it moved them both to tears and emotions were what mattered. They delved into a long discussion about the movie and ended up running late. On the way home, a bicycle nearly crashed into Junpei, causing Tuju to fall on top of him, and he got the soft sensation of strawberries too. On the first day of their second year of high school, Junpei finds that Tuju is no longer in his class, and instead, he's stuck with a rather unattractive Kamiyama. However, there's a new addition to the film club, the foul-mouthed girl from the movie theater. She came to the school specifically to join the film club and was looking for its leader, Junpei. Upon learning that he is Junpei and he directed the movie for the film festival last year, she couldn't help but laugh and mock the film. Even though she's a first-year student and not supposed to talk like that to a senior, but she doesn't believe in being polite to people she doesn't respect. Junpei is offended by her words, but also finds himself admiring her cute face on camera. He thinks she'd make a great actress, but she's not interested in that. In an attempt to convince her, Junpei leaves his camera facing them on the table, but the girl notices the angle and misunderstands his intent. Thinking he's trying to take upskirt shots, she starts chasing him, and Sotomura revealed that she's actually his little sister and advised him to keep a distance from her. Even though she manages to hit him with a chair, lucky Junpei still finds himself getting his favorite strawberry shot. Kamiyama arrives late to the party and Misuzu doesn't treat him any differently, knocking him down and calling him a pervert when he tries to hug her out of the blue. Misuzu notices that the film club isn't in great shape and tries to take charge, but Satsuki intervenes, refusing to take orders from a junior. Misuzu criticizes the degrading quality of the movie, particularly Satsuki's swimsuit scene, calling it nothing but fan service. Satsuki reveals that it was her brother's idea, but she tells everyone to ignore his opinions, emphasizing that she doesn't listen to her brother either. Sotomura has been treated like an illness by her, even beaten by a baseball bat when he tried to film her. The tension escalates, and Satsuki and Misuzu start fighting, providing a beautiful scene for Sotomura to witness. After the fight settles, Misuzu asks Tuju to assist her in script writing, as she believes it was the only part she liked in that movie. Meanwhile, Yu shares her first day high school experience with Junpei, mentioning how famous Nishino is in the school. Even though it's an all-girls school, there are always a bunch of boys from other schools waiting outside the gates, and they all seemed to be interested in Nishino's stand. Junpei had left his job but was still waiting outside the shop to give Satsuki a birthday present. Satsuki was overwhelmed and started crying as she never expected a present from Junpei. She suggested taking a picture to put in the frame. The place reminded her of the time when Junpei was filming her by the river last spring. Feeling it wouldn't be meaningful to only have a picture of herself, she took the camera and captured a beautiful moment of them kissing. Despite exchanging presents and both of them having feelings for each other, Junpei still couldn't respond to Satsuki's feelings fully. A week later, it's May 10th, Junpei's birthday. Satsuki brought a gift for him, but he refused to accept it. He didn't even consider the effort she put into choosing his present and made a selfish decision, thinking it would be best for Satsuki. So Tomura teased him, not able to decide which girl he liked, speculating that Junpei might not want to let go of either girl. However, Junpei clarified that he never felt that way. Satsuki left early that day, and after school, Tuju also tried to give him a present, but he refused, stating that he didn't accept Satsuki's gift either. Tuju mentioned Nishino's name, but Junpei assured her that he has already broken up with Nishino. Tuju advised Junpei not to overcomplicate things, and she only wants to celebrate his birthday and nothing else. She handed him the gift, which contained a notepad and stationery to help him with concept art for his movies. After receiving the gift from Tuju, Junpei ran to find Satsuki and accepted her present. He apologized for his earlier behavior and expressed his gratitude. However, while Junpei was happily reconciling with Satsuki, Tuju, standing on the rooftop, didn't seem to be feeling good. During the film club meeting, everyone praised Tuju's script except for Sotomura, whose opinion nobody really cared about. Satsuki believed she would be a perfect fit for the heroine role, but Junpei wasn't sure if she was the right choice. Misuzu mentioned that they were yet to finalize the heroine role, which led to some chaos among them. Yua, about to repeat her sleep-stripping habit, found Junpei still awake, passionately working on the storyboard for the movie. He was determined to showcase the greatness of Tuju's script to a bigger audience. Misuzu gave Junpei a ticket to a classic movie, hoping he could gather some ideas to impress the audience better, as she didn't want to be associated with a creepy movie. She made some harsh statements, questioning who would want to watch a movie directed by someone who couldn't make up his mind. She even questioned Satsuki what she saw in him. Tuju had a new idea for the movie and wanted Junpei's input, but he felt hopeless about his directing skills after Misuzu's comments. However, Tuju encouraged him, saying that she lacked confidence too, but she was here right now because Junpei had been there for her. She genuinely believed that Junpei is amazing in his work, and he just needed to believe in himself. After Tuju's motivational speech, Junpei goes straight to the theater to watch an old love story movie, which echoes painfully throughout his heart. The sweeper there can't believe that today's youngsters can still appreciate the classics. While waiting under the roof in the rain after the movie, Junpei sees Nishino, who works at the cake shop near the theater. Nishino is still following her own path, and after their breakup, she watched a lot of movies including the same love story that Junpei just watched. Junpei remembers that Nishino has always had an interest in movies and even wanted to help make them, but that now seems impossible. Nishino tells Junpei to show her the next movie whenever he finishes it. Meanwhile, Misuzu sees Nishino and believes she would be a perfect fit for the heroine role. Satsuki is practicing the heroine's dialogue, but Junpei isn't very impressed and suggests she play the role of a childhood friend instead. So Tomura suggests not using Tuju's script since they can't decide on a heroine, implying that the script is problematic. Unbeknownst to them, Tuju overhears the conversation and runs away to the rooftop in tears. Misuzu describes Tuju's sad-looking face and scolds her brother for his pathetic suggestion. Junpei goes searching for Tuju, who accidentally falls upon him, recreating a scene from their middle school days. Tuju apologizes, thinking her script is bad, but Junpei reassures her that it isn't bad at all. He likes the story she wrote, and no matter what others say, he will continue the movie with her script and pour his heart into making it great. Both of them can already visualize the dramatic scenes, and Tuju gains confidence in her script. Misuzu advises all the members to come with her next morning as she's found a perfect heroine for the movie. They arrived at the shop a bit earlier, and Junpei suspected it might be Nishino because she works at the shop. Finally, Nishino arrived there, and upon everyone's request, she agrees to take on the heroine role. The next day, all the film club members visited a jungle to shoot a demo movie scene with a romantic theme. Junpei and Nishino were playing the lead roles, but there was something missing from their performance. They just couldn't create a good scene. That's when someone in the group came up with an idea. There was a rumor that nearby there were haunted ghosts who were dangerous to normal people but didn't harm true lovers. So they devised a plan to leave Junpei and Nishino alone in the dark jungle and haunt them, hoping that their true feelings would come forward, resulting in a more realistic scene. The trick was that they had to act like lovers or else they might get attacked by the ghosts. The jungle echoed with dramatic sounds. Frightened, Junpei and Nishino started acting like a couple, hoping to get saved from the haunting. Suddenly, all the fireflies started glowing all around them, creating a magical atmosphere. The plan worked perfectly, as they were able to capture a beautiful scene with Junpei and Nishino, looking into each other's eyes, appearing as if they were destined for each other. After the shoot, everyone apologized to them for the haunted experience, but Nishino was still terrified and angry, knowing that it was their friends making all those noises. On a normal day, Junpei was on his way to school when Tuju greeted him with a cheerful good morning as usual. However, she then said something unexpected, telling him to stop being so lifeless and to drop his spineless weakling act. Junpei was taken aback. Was this really Tuju speaking? Today they had two observers, Chunami and Kozu, who were specially invited to provide feedback. The topic of discussion was selecting the genre of the movie they would make. Everyone suggested their choices, and then it was Tuju's turn. She proposed making a gangster movie set in the far northern region of Ohio, where two gangsters would be involved in a thrilling escape from the cops, leading to a violent firefight. The climax would take place in the freezing winter night, and eventually, the gangsters would be captured. And the end. Her choice surprised everyone as it was quite different from her usual romantic stories. Tuju expressed that she found pure love stories boring and embarrassing. However, she mentioned that she would be glad to play in a love epic if Junpei was the lead. After making her suggestion, she excused herself, saying she needed to go to the bathroom for a while. Her sudden behavior puzzled everyone, and Misuzu blamed Junpei for potentially doing something to upset Tuju. Satsuki defended him, stating that he would never intentionally hurt anyone. Sotomura speculated that Tuju used to be suppressing herself all the time and experiencing some kind of trauma could be causing her hidden personality to surface. The door opened, and everyone sat down in their seats as Tuju walked in. The atmosphere was tense, and Tuju assumed that everything was settled, so she tried to drag Junpei with her, suggesting they go home. Satsuki intervened, stopping her. However, in the middle of the conversation, Tuju suddenly realized she had important work to do and postponed taking Junpei home for another day. Everyone was shocked by Tuju's strange behavior. Junpei sensed that something was definitely wrong and she was not the same Tuju he knew. Kamiyama and Sotomura agreed with him but believed he should be happy about it since he always wanted Tuju to express her feelings towards him. However, Junpei preferred Tuju the way she was before, and Sotomura advised him not to overthink it and believe things would somehow go back to normal. On his way, Junpei bumped into Satsuki on the stairs, but to their surprise, she didn't plant her foot in her faces as she normally would. Instead, she ran away out of shame. Following her, Junpei was shocked to see Satsuki behaving somewhat like the old Tuju. Even her teacher stopped acting like a pervert and took decisive action against Sotomura when she discovered creepy photos in his camera. Amidst the chaos and confusion, Misuzu suddenly appears with a charming look. Even the usually quiet observer takes on a gangster role and scares the boys away from the school. Sotomura is bewildered and has no idea what's going on with his sister and the other girls. The situation becomes even more mysterious, and they soon realize that the only ones unaffected were Nishino and Yu. As they rush towards the school, they discover that Nishino has also been affected by this strange phenomenon. Kamiyama and Sotomura insist that Junpei take care of Nishino while they escape from there. However, they are shocked to find Yui in a degraded state, wearing dark tan makeup and acting like a tough character. Deciding to avoid the chaos, they sneak away and head to a park in search of some peace, only to find Tuju waiting for them there. She questioned him why he disappeared from the class, expressing her genuine concern. Tuju placed his hand on her chest to feel her rapid heartbeat, but Junpei felt uncomfortable and awkward. He wished for Tuju to return to her usual self, but suddenly an evil voice emanated from her, claiming that she is who she is. The voice urged Junpei to do whatever he desires with her, but he resisted, explaining that he doesn't want anything like that. In the commotion, Junpei tripped and accidentally dragged Tuju down with him. They witnessed the strange sight of strawberries on Tuju's panties coming to life, which terrified them. The evil voice from Tuju acknowledged that Junpei had discovered her true identity and applauded him for it. Confused, Junpei demanded to know who she really was, and she revealed that she came from a different planet named Strawberry Pants. It seemed she intended to take over the world by controlling the wearer of her pants. However, Earth's environment wasn't suitable for her, so she had borrowed Tuju's body, and over time, they would become one entity. Even Kamiyama's face appears more appealing compared to her story. Junpei attempted to stop her, but she summoned her servants, warning that anyone who saw their true form would face certain death. With all the girls now chasing them, they decided to split up and wish each other good luck. So Tomura got caught up in the commotion due to the traffic lights, and the girls' earlier assaults on men led to a unique experience of immense pleasure for them. In the midst of the chaos, Kamiyama took charge and decided to hold back the girls while instructing Junpei to escape, confident that he wouldn't meet a pointless demise. After Kamiyama's experiencing the heavenly pleasure, only Junpei remains unaffected by the evil strawberries' control. He uses his brain for the first time and realizes that the strawberries control humans through physical contact. He decides to take them off, but to his surprise, he finds that they can multiply infinitely, making it impossible to remove them all. He understands that if they continue to spread, they will control all the women on the planet, but he wonders why they aren't affecting men and what would happen if he were to put one on. The evil voice taunts Junpei, calling him stupid for even considering such a foolish act. This gives Junpei an insight into their weakness. The strawberries offer him money, power, and status, but Junpei is determined to bring everyone back to normal. He bravely puts one of the strawberries on, causing the evil presence to vanish, and the world returns to its original state. Everyone wakes up from their deep sleep, but they are not pleased with Junpei's outfit. Tuju speculates that it's her strawberry pants, leading to numerous questions from all the girls for him. Junpei explains that he wears it to save everyone, but they see it as a garbage excuse. In response, they deliver kicks and beat him all over his body, while Kamiyama and Sotomura enjoyed the view, as Junpei has been having it good all this while and some pain will be good for him. If you made this far, answer what color was the strawberry pants in the comments below.